Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending folks. It's man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bottom Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it is Monday again, and time is flying by fast. This is the second week of July, and also we got a couple of shows coming up. One notably, is the Chicago Pro. That is going to be this weekend. It's going to start on Friday and Saturday. We're going to do the Masters first, and then also going to do the Open on that Saturday. I am not going to watch that show because, again, I am planning to take a trip. And, and also, even though they're going to have women's bodybuilding at the show, they're going to have it for Masters, not Open. Tim Gardner has dropped it for his lineup. I'm not a big fan of that. And I do this thing, I support promoters that support women's bodybuilding. And I'm not going to support a promoter that's not going to support the division. It's half-assed what he's doing. I understand it's not the numbers, but it's half-assed. But before we start, I want to do something real quick. And I want to, I'm going to call this addressing the elephant in the room. I'm going to take off my old man glasses for a minute. This is where I get serious. I've been doing this for quite a bit for a little over 6 years when I started this. And, it was just something to keep my mindset going as I was taking care of my mom. And then shout out to my man, the coach, who told me, do something that you like. And I like doing this. This to me, it's not a hobby. It's a passion. There's a big difference between passion and a hobby. Hobby is very expensive. Passion is not that expensive. But I was talking with some guys I know, and we talk about how we reach out to you ladies for interviews. And, it's okay. If you're not comfortable with it, okay, cool. You don't say no, cool. All right. You want to go back to it, cool. But then when you ask to get paid for it, that's not cool. Here's the problem with this. Who are you in the grand scheme of things? You're not a big-time celebrity, not a big-time athlete. You are an athlete, but not a big-time athlete. And, if none of the major news outlets want to reach out and pay for your interview, why should I? I know some guys done it before in the past and realized it's not worth it. Me, I can't afford to pay you. I live on disability. Right now, I just got finished paying my light bill, my rent. I got insurance, all those things, buy groceries for myself to keep myself going and other stuff here and there. And after that, I got to save. Right now, I'm saving for a trip. if you know, folks, you see my Cash App, my Venmo, and my PayPal. You want to donate to my trip? I appreciate it. Every little dollar goes to me surviving. If somebody's disability, it's not much. It's not like I have a steady job and a job in which I can pay you for it. This is about sharing your path and your story. And I appreciate the ladies who do want to take the time out. I got a couple of interviews. I got one tomorrow with a lady who's been competing for quite some time. I got one coming up this before the weekend, and another one coming in the weekend. And you know what? And I appreciate those. But let me tell you this: we're not going to pay you for your time. This is. I know your time is valuable. I understand it's valuable to you, and my time is valuable to me too. But this is just a conversation. When we chat to you, let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's have get you out there, because not the other guys will not pay you. Like, especially not myself, not my man David, not my man KL, not the guys at the Female Bodybuilding channel, and not even Claudio at Hardcore Female Bodybuilding. I don't know if he does or does not. If he does, okay, that's cool with him. But the rest of us, come on. You already compete in a sport where you don't get no real money out of it, other than if you place first in the show. Unless you're a guy, you might make about maybe a good $10,000. But if you're a woman, that's less. And we want you to come out here and share your stories, okay? and share your path, your interest, what inspires you as a bodybuilder. But we're not going to put up money to pay you for it. I know some competitors do that. They have a charge thing where they pay you so much for an hour. And no, I can't do it. I respect who you are as a person, as a competitor, as a woman. But again, I'm saying your time is valuable. But again, it's not that valuable. I have to pay you for it. It's only just a little over an hour, maybe just more than that, just to sit and have a conversation. Especially somebody who supports you, who's a fan, and who admires what you do as a competitor. Other than that, my money is better saved on something else. My money is my money, just as much as yours is yours. You want to get paid, okay. But to get paid to talk, only two people get paid for talking. To talk to is psychiatrists and prostitutes. And I know you don't got no psychology degree, and I know you're not singing no pussy. So there it is. So I'm sorry. The other guy had to creep out. He just needed the voice his opinion, because he's just he's just a particular criminal. So we got that straight. Understand? Cool. Whatever. We move on. So, folks, this subject we talked about last week about in women's bodybuilding, who could be possibly the future Miss Olympia. Andrea's not gonna keep up forever. She's trying to maybe either tie with Iris Kyle or even break her record. That means 11 Olympias. And his truth by Andrea, she's not a spring chicken. She's already in her mid-40s, and she's already about to try to get 7 Olympias. So if she can get 4 more, she's gonna be touching her 50s. But also, if you look at over women's physique, you have a back and forth between titles. Last year we just Natalia Coelho regained the title after she lost it to Sarah Vilgas in 2023. And Sarah was, for a while, was dominant champion for the first couple of years, and then she loses the title to Natalia. So the question is there anybody who might be worthy for that title, for women's physique Miss Olympia title? Well, I don't know. There's quite a few ladies. So, we'll have a discussion of this. We have here some guests here. I want to shout out my guests who come here, and I appreciate their support. Shout out to my man here, my young nephew here. Alex is here. Alex, he's been busy, young man. He got a job. Maybe we give him a woman too.
No, not about that. No, just because Natalia wrote to me. No, it's not what you think it is. She was appreciative, though.
Well, I know you're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. And shout out to my man KL. He just finished the interview. Want to go check the channel? My man KL, the one that's here, he just finished the interview with a lovely lady. Her name is Kate, and Kate's from New Zealand. Wow, that's a.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, wow, hey, dude. Kate's a nice lady. I mean, and from New Zealand. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know the time zone. I just she kind of helped me out with the time zone. But yeah, but she was a cool person. She's an INBA pro sports model division and stuff. And she's like nine weeks out to her pro debut, and yeah.
Well, that's surprising. I mean, that's another organization that I just found out about through my man KL, the INBA. I think they do a little more natural competitions.
Yeah. I'm assuming, yeah. It's a natural show.
Okay. So, folks, as no discussions could be about who could possibly become maybe the future Miss Olympia. As you know, when about another, should we see, about 12 weeks till the Olympia, because it's going to be the end of September. It's already mid July. So, just about 12, 11 weeks. And it's amazing ladies who I follow who look like they could be contenders. But as long as you still have sitting on the top of the summit is the current champion, Natalia Coelho. And Natalia, she's been in the game for a long time. She's been a runner up a couple of times. She won the title back in 2023. Lost it in 2024, and then gained it back in 2025. As you know, she's also a doctor, and I forgot what is the her specialty. Alex, is you're a big fan of Natalia.
I think it had something to do with blood related work. I'm trying to remember. It had something. I think for different. No, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I'm multitasking at the moment.
Yeah, I kind of appreciate Natalia. I ain't gonna lie, she got a nice physique. Like I be looking at me one like doing like some videos on her, like posted, like put some clips together. I like her physique. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, like I said, she has a nice physique. She has, I think, one thing is, a while back when I talked about the what's the criteria for women's physique in IVD, she's the one who set the standard because
Yeah,
she has a smaller taper waist, good development. You know, uh, she has a good physique. Some say this is what the aesthetic is supposed to be with physique, where they run away from a certain look, where you see girls now getting bigger. But like I said, Natalia is very popular. I know quite a few ladies who have met her, they known her. She's even a couple of times popped in a couple of my lives. I reached out to her for an interview, but I know she's busy. One time I remember her doing a live with Tracy Guile, and she popped in and I said, "Hey, come on, you want to join us?" And she couldn't come in. She tried to come in, but then something happened. But she's still a young woman. I don't think she's even turned 30 yet. I mean, this might be her year. She might be hitting her 30th birthday. Yeah, anybody got something to
yeah. How
say?
many shows she been doing? Like yeah, like how many shows? Like even I don't know. Like how many shows she been doing all together? So if anybody
Well,
know.
well, well, she hadn't done anything of yet this year. I know
Mhm.
last year she did I think she did Pittsburgh. She did the show in Mexico. I believe she did New York. The number of shows, I'm not gonna try to calculate because she has quite a few because she's been competing for at least over a decade. She's been a bodybuilder since she's a teenager. But like I
Mhm.
said, she's a impressive young lady. She still keeps in good shape. She has, I think, the IFB likes her personality. Uh, I even one time I posted something. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Natalia. I'll be honest with you, but I posted something and somebody said something, and then and she came to my defense saying like, he don't have to be a fan of mine, but I appreciate how he supports us in bodybuilding. And I said, I appreciate that. This was back in, I think it was 2022, the 2023 when she won the title, when she beat Sarah. There's the Barbara Majan who recently retired. Her last Olympia was last year. And you have Sarah Vilgas, And the thing is, if Natalia step away, or if something happens, will Sarah take back the title? I mean, some say Sarah was the reason why the division changed. Her one thing I think a lot of girls I see posted is the glutes. Sarah's glutes are just crazy. Some say that she's maybe a little bit towards more women's bodybuilding, but with me, she doesn't have the size. Her condition is crazy. I mean, again, Sarah's another person who I'm not a big fan of, but her body is just, she has I would say, amazing body. You know.
Yeah, yeah. She got an amazing body.
Yep.
Yeah. As you know, Sarah also, she was one woman. One thing I respect about her was with the things going on with women's physique, where they get pushed out of shows just like women's bodybuilding. She stepped up. One point she even put prize money for shows like Pittsburgh and the Texas Pro. As you know, just a few months ago, she announced that, as you know, this was her uh, distinction award that's given at the Texas Pro. This year, she's not giving it out. She made this announcement a while back where it was been for 6 years she was doing it since 2020, and the last time the show was reward was passed out was 2025. The winner of the show was Brittany Hera. But the thing is Sarah's doing a lot of stuff that's not very conducive. Right here, she's here with Chris Cormier, legendary competitor Olympian, and she's posting about oil because saying that the tire's using it. She's been talking a lot of stuff. There's her husband right there, and he supports her. And and she's been kind of quiet after a while. Other than just posting stuff here and there, she's been kind of quiet. But the big thing is that how long will she want to compete? As you know, you can't keep doing this forever. Like Sarah's not no spring chicken. She's, I think she's almost 40. And could she keep on going another 2-3 more years, try to get back the title, or just realize that it's time to pack it up? I'm hearing some stuff that she's doing some other business deals, stuff outside the show, outside of bodybuilding. She also runs her own gym, and it also helps with other people in their coaching their process. Anyway, we got comments here. We got some comments here. Give me a sec here. Shout out to our man Jeff. He says, "Hey George, how are you doing? On vacation next week." Okay. Hey, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. We have the lovely Mrs. Doctor Natalia Coelho says, "Hi George, Alex K. Stopping by to show some support and wish you guys a great week." Thank you, Dr. Natalia.
Thank you, Natalia. Nice to see. Nice to hear
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. Here go my man Black Panther says, "Hi George and crew. This is Black Panther." Brother, you don't have to tell. I know it's you. It's. I don't. You have to tell me. Come on. I know it's you, brother. Also, he says this. He says Natalia from Brazil is great ambassador for women's physique. Brazil. Shout out to him. Also, he says this. He says there should women's bodybuilding shows in WPD shows in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Charlotte, North Carolina, USA is a beautiful city. Yeah, I've been Charlotte. It's been a long time ago since I've been in Charlotte. But actually, Black Panther, there's some news coming up. There's a show coming up. It's going to be in Charlotte. It's not women's bodybuilding, women's physique. It's figure. It's called the Queen of City, and it's going to be in Charlotte in October. And I'm maybe thinking about checking it out because Charlotte's just down the road from where I stay at. It's not too, like I said, it's just a couple hours from where I live in Robinson County in Roland. So, I can, I think about me renting a car, driving down there, stay a couple of days, check out the show, maybe get some interviews out. We got here, shout out to our brother here, David. He can't make it today. Shout out to David. Says, Natalia is a real sweetheart, but I prefer her without the fake boobs. What do you think about the Sarah versus Natalia beef? Maybe they will scrap on stage. Brother, I don't see it happen. I don't see there's gonna be a brawl room bash on the Olympia stage. Most definitely, Jake's not gonna let it happen. He's not gonna, nah, brother. He's not gonna play that. But maybe that'll be something interesting. Two women half naked, oil up, tanned up, and fighting on the middle stage. You can sell tickets to that. Make that a new show. Shout out to my man, Black Panther. He says women's bodybuilding the greatest. Yeah, it's great. It's not like it's the division that started it all. And also, this is from a man Jeff says, Natalia, I'm single. Brother, I think you better forget about it. Yeah, you might as well, knock that out the park. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. You can be nice to her, be friendly, but you're not gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. I'm just gonna be realistic. Shout out to my man here, Black Panther says Sarah and Natalia are great women's physique athletes. Women's physique is the greatest. And shout out to my man, David says, hey, this is the White Panther. Just teasing. Whatever. You can call yourself the big Pink Panther, brother. So I was, like I said, there's some amazing ladies. So ladies are top five, top 10 competitors in the future. Who could possibly, maybe, uh, if either Natalia decides to say, you know what, she's still a young woman, and she's been Miss Olympia a couple of times. Maybe she wants to step away and have a life. And then I think again, Sarah's not a spring chicken. Maybe she wants to step away. Who would you think, in your opinion, and I'm asking you, Alex, would you like to see as maybe the next women's physique Olympian?
And that's going to be a difficult one. I've been currently thinking of a few other athletes who would potentially take the title in the future after if Natalia had enough wins. So, and I know Sarah's been gone through the controversy already. I know. Let's see. What about Sema Benta? What about her? Does she have what it takes?
Well, Zama, I'm a fan of her. She has a great physique, great aesthetics. She's been last couple of years a top three, top five competitor. Could Zama take the title? I think possibly, especially if she comes in, I think with the best overall condition, the best overall shape, and the look that I think the judges want. I could see as a champion. But here's the hiccup: as you know, she does not speak too much English, and I think I'd be probably wants a more, more bilingual competitor. It's still a business, and um, but again, as you know, she was, before she got bodybuilding, she was married. She her first husband was abusive. She has two sons, and she's been looking good. I mean, here she is. I think this is one of her trainers. She has a crazy physique. One point she even competing in women's bodybuilding, and I mean, you look at her. I mean, wow. I mean, her overall physique, smaller waist, just like Natalia. I think, a little bigger in the quads. Or maybe she'll trim down by the time it's time for Olympia. I don't think she's doing any other shows because she last one year she did both Tampa and Texas. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a fan of Zama. I mean, she's very dedicated, active. Quite a few competitors. Just this is just a quality about her. And also, again, she is very stunning. I mean, my man David did an interview with her a while back. Her husband sat in as interpreter. I wouldn't mind doing an interview, but I feel like you lose something when you have to interpretate. We have to translate something, And my style is very comic, very funny. But like I said, Zama, she's one of those women just got a great look to her. I think she's very attractive, has a great physique. I mean, could she be the next Miss Olympia physique? Maybe. But again, it goes back to the IB and what they want. They want maybe somebody who can speak English, who's very more, I don't know, presentable. But she has that great look to her. But again, it's up to what the judges think, and if she can come into great condition and maybe push out both Natalia or Sarah.
Mm.
We got here come from my man David. He says, scrap it on stage would gave the Olympia a lot of media attention. Maybe, but it'd be something nice to happen. Also, the man Black Panther, it would be great for women's bodybuilding division to have shows in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's near the future. Also, the women's physique division as well. That's a great thing. Hoping. Also, shout to man David says, I think Susan Madison could be Miss Olympia, but I'm biased. I know you biased. That's your girl. I mean, I like Susan. She has a great body. I would say she has a great look to her. I would say she's very. Some would say very feminine, physical and feminine, pleasing. But again, it's about if she can bring the conditioning to crack even to the top three. The last couple of years has been like women like Zambenta and Natalia and Sarah, and then switch up. You might have one year you had Brooke Walker, and then it's still going to be the top two is going to be between Sarah. Then you had a couple other competitors. But like again, I think for my man David, I'm gonna pull up Susan because I know that's his girl. He's a fan of hers. He's been to a couple of shows. He was both in New York and ultimately last competed. He couldn't go to Spain. I mean, Susan has a great look to her. I mean, um, especially for a woman of 40 plus. That's the thing. I think the judges probably want to have somebody a little bit younger. As you know, the youngest, I think the youngest person to hold the title was Shanique Grant. And Shanique was in her early 20s. I think with, with Susan, you know, could she crack the top five?
Who's
I
that
don't
girl?
know.
Not to cut you off. Who's that chick beside her?
Oh, that's Julia Capocos. I think that's her name. She's from Spain. She won the Imperial last month, and she came
Yeah.
second at the Portugal. And she has a great look to her. This is somebody I think if let me see if I can pull her up because I think if I go to let's see, here she is. We'll pull up real quick. Now Julia she's got an Olympic qualification, and Julia, can you
Yeah,
believe it?
come on.
She's over 40. Because she competed. She competed at the Euro Masters, which is a Masters pro qualifier in Italy. She also placed second at the Portugal Masters in women's physique. I mean, she has a great look to her. I mean, very feminine, very good muscle, the aesthetics of women's physique. Could she crack the top five, or could she be top three, or even be the next physique Olympian? There's also a thing is she speaks mostly Spanish because I talked to her online, so I had to use my Google Translator to talk back and forth with her. And that's the thing is, the Olympia wants to have somebody who can really represent that. If you do interviews, you can talk to the interview right in a translator. You can even if you speak another language, you can go back and forth. If she could translate and speak in Spanish and speak in English, but she has a great physique. Her placing
Yeah.
at Portugal wasn't as like I said. We were talking. She didn't lack a placing because she took second. Um, Maybe again, the judges are different depending what show you go to. One judge might like your physique one day, and one judge might not like your physique the other. Like what happened with Sarah Bradley, she had forfeit Toronto. But she could be a future contender. But again, she is over 40, and I think the IB want a much younger competitor that can push and they can ride on like someone like if you look at over figure like Cindy Gillis. Cindy was, I think when she retired from the game, she was just still in her mid-30s, and she's been competing since a good part of her mid to early 20s.
What about Paula Ransom?
Paula, like I said, Paula's still young. Like I said, being just like she's only 26. I think she's going 27 this year.
Mm.
Paula has that potential. Some say she might have more potential for women's bodybuilding than she has women's physique. And when she started out, she was doing figure. She even earned qualification Olympia as a figure competitor. And this is confirmation from her herself that Paula's going to be doing Chicago Pro this weekend. And she also has hanged out and she's been mentored by Sarah. One thing about it is also the crazy gyration of the glutes. I mean, she does have that advantage of youth. Her English is getting a little better because she does post them quite often. As you know, she's reaching her Finland. Her English is getting a little better. And that's the advantage of that she's still young. If she becomes a champion now and just not even 30 yet, she can hold that title as long as she can stay and maintain her shape. She can hold that title for 10 years before she ever think about really retiring.
Mm.
Mm.
A lot of them, they retire like it's not long till they retire. So I don't know. Like some of them, they just came in the scene because there was this other chick. I forgot her name. She had a nice physique. I forgot, but then she retired. Like I think like sometime that last year. I think she did like one show. She was from Germany. I forgot her name.
Let's see.
Dave interviewed her
I
a
think
while back.
oh, Julia Sherrod.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the name.
Yes.
I
I think
think
she
that's
talking about,
the
yeah. Yeah, because I think she said because she felt like her physique didn't fit the criteria for WPD. And that's why she stepped back. She did compete. She did make a pro debut about 2 years ago at New York. She came back this year did New York, and also she did Pittsburgh, and this she said it was a wrap for her. But that's the thing is about this.
no, not
I
her, not her, not her. It was another one. She she had curly hair. I forgot her name. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna be Pacific. She gave me a strike years ago, and I got yeah. She gave me because
oh
I took her videos.
you mean Anna Lynn?
Yes,
I,
I think that's her name. If
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
I think she might be coming back
Yeah,
because she I think she did a thing where she was in there was a show in Germany, the FIBO.
yeah.
She was there. She's talking to JB. I think the thing with her because what some people tell me because she's not really consistent with some stuff. I think what mistake she made was last year she did multiple. Was that last year? It was a year.
Two
It was
years
like
ago, I think.
it was like
2 years
it
ago.
was it was when she did the least. She did both she did like at least three shows here in the states. She did Pittsburgh, Altima, and Omaha. She placed in the top three, top five of those shows. Then she did the Portugal Pro, where she got third. And I think she got discouraged by it. And she's still,
Mm.
I think she's still in good shape. I didn't talk to her. Maybe try to set up an interview for a future. I know David interviewed a couple of times. Um, I think the question is that I think what she did was jump on shows that I think what she did is she should do this. She should have done Pittsburgh, and she should have did Omaha. I remember she was actually um,
Her name was
in
Anna Prince or something like that.
yeah,
And
Anna Prince. Yeah, I know.
yeah, Anna
Yeah,
Prince. Yeah.
yeah, and I remember she was actually hanging with Millie Horton in Toronto, in Canada,
Um,
and that was maybe she could have did the Toronto Super Show, but she decided to do the Ultima, and she had to do Omaha Ultima. She could have done Toronto instead of instead of doing Omaha, she could have done Toronto. And that was the year that Robin Mays won her Olympic qualification, and that was actually that was 2024. But I think Anna, if she takes the time and is still in good shape, I know she's focused on coaching and stuff like that. You never know. She might come back. She's very, I think, very private about social media. You know,
mm,
but again, I think if she can get out her own head and realize that this is a special sport to get into, and if you
it's
are
up to
dedicated
her.
to it, hmm,
No, I say, no, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
if she really wants to come back, you got to be strategic. She could have done a show in Germany. There was a show in Germany that she could have done. That's her home country, her own backyard. That she probably could get Olympic qualification for. Because the lady who won that show took second to Robin Mays at the Toronto Super Show. But again, her potential for Miss Olympia, I don't see it. I think maybe a few years I could probably eventually see her doing women's bodybuilding because she has a lot of muscle density. She doesn't have the small tapering waist compared to some other ladies. She has good physique, but still, I think she's just a bit inconsistent when it comes to certain things.
I was rooting for her, but she did that bullshit a couple of years ago. I just left her alone. Like, whatever. It's just, you want to come back, you come back, you do. But, I would, my point is, a lot of them, it ain't certain, they span, they have like a short span with, on being on stage. that's why I brought her up. And she ain't stayed long. So
I think she competed for at least a couple of years, and then she took a break one year,
yeah,
came back, and then she kind of just I don't I think what it was I think she talked about because of space of competing, but again when you get in sport you have to be very calculating. Like again, she should have did Toronto instead of doing Omaha, thinking that she had an easy shot with Omaha, but that was a mistake. Sometimes it's best to she was in Toronto, she was in Canada, right there. She could have did the Super Show, and maybe she got Olympic qualification. Shout out to Miss Robin Mays, a woman who was she was 58 that year, still, beating out girls who were 20 years to 10 years younger than her. And I got to give respect to her. We have here some comments here. Shout out to my man here, Black Panther. He's been sticking with us. He says this. He says, Susan will be a great as well. Give that. Also, shout out to our man Josh from the Empire Nation Stand Up. Says Sharonica Hinton would be a great Miss Olympia for WPD. I'm a fan of Sharonica Hinton. I've met Sharonica Hinton. To me, honestly, Sharonica fits the criteria. She looks more like WPD than what the women you see now. She has a great look, great body to her. I mean, she's a posing coach, respected in the sport. Honestly, she's been a multiple time Olympian. She's been a top 5 competitor in Olympia. This year, and she's also been top 3. Last year. I honestly, again, I just love her physique. It is really what the division is. She has the smaller waist. She has great muscle. She's not overly large compared to some of the women you've seen now.
yeah, she's pretty. That's all I got to say. I don't really follow her like that. So
Well, I follow her because I appreciate because sometimes she comments on stuff. I'll tag her on a post. She'll tag me back. I appreciate that. I would love to do interview with her in the future if she ever has the time. Again, if you look at her physique, to me, this is just at a show where she was guest posing, and she's a good posing coach and a good poser herself. To me, the aesthetics, she has a nice smaller waist, uh, you know, good definition, good aesthetics, beautiful physique. I love my chocolate sisters. Women with muscle, just chocolate sisters with muscles, just beautiful. You know, again, I look at the other women; they're getting too big, and she's been to Olympia as in women's physique, been a top 5 competitor. I mean, I don't know what the judges are looking for. This is again, if you look at Natalia, she's not too far from Natalia. Yeah. But again, I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. I'm just giving my opinion. She has to qualify again because she was year before she was in the top 3, and with them for all the other divisions except for the men, it's top 3 qualification. You top 3, you get to compete next year. You don't have to do any shows. That's why I say I don't know why Tag keeps doing shows where you're either the champion or you're first runner up. But again, she wants to be active. That's cool. But I think now she's doing a smart thing where she's not a champion. She's stepping back. She's just gonna do the Olympia. If she loses, she might try to jump in the show. I hope she does not. Just you got your spot, you got your seat, take it. I mean, I know you want to be active, want to be competitive, but hey, take your seat. Sit down, chill. We got here a comment from my man. Shout out to my man, Black Panther says, for your bodybuilder, the Soccer Dawson is the greatest. She has the heart of a champion. She's representing Texas, USA. Cool. We're not talking about her right now. We are talking about her another time.
think everybody, I swear, he think everybody's the great.
He's a big fan. Shadow Man David says Susan is purdy, excellent physique. yeah. She's purdy. Yeah, I got to meet her up close and personal. There's some things that. Shout out to my man. He says, female bodybuilder. He said this again, dude. You repeat yourself, man. You got to stop being like cartoons. My man here says Julia's gorgeous. She's coming to Tampa. Ooh, oh, she's gonna compete in Tampa. Wow. I mean, shoot. I mean, Maybe she just want to make a U.S. debut. I mean, also I know Sean Nelson is going to be doing some photo sessions around that way. So maybe she might hit him up. You know, if she has him as a translator. I know I sent a link a while back, and when he was coming up. Shout out to him, man. He says this. He says, Andrea Shaw, Ashley Jones, Exile Dawson would be great at the women's at Miss Olympia championships representing women's bodybuilding. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's good. Okay. It's just like, and no, wait a minute. I got the wrong person. My man says Julie Sherrod. Okay, as we mentioned, or it says I think we're talking about you, Kale. It says
Anna
Anna
Prince.
Prince, where we get
Prince.
Anna Prince. Yeah, Anna Prince. And we got here my man here, Brown Baldy. Hadn't seen him in a bit. Shout to man Brown Baldy. It says, damn dude, you got a strike. The fuck?
Yeah, he's talking about me. He got I did a couple of years ago. I took like videos and she ain't like it, so she took it down and stuff. So I think she gave me like 2 strikes, probably like two videos with 1 strike, and another chick did, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Here's the funny part of it. I have taken videos of those women too and posted, but I don't know why I didn't get a strike. One time I got a strike was when
Anna. Somebody when I got that strike, I remember somebody did another video with her and stuff like that. I don't know if she discovered it, but I did like 2 videos of her, and she took them down and stuff. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody that have an issue with me posting it. And now I try to what I do majority of the times, I'll like credit them, like I'll put their Instagram and stuff like that. Because I remember if you follow Muscle Girl Love, they had that similar problem. They would just get constant strikes, and then they started crediting the person on their Instagram. But even that, it's like you gotta ask them now. Like I try to ask them, sometimes I don't, but I've been like trying to just ask, hey, can I post your videos and all that type of stuff? And some of them say yes, some of them say no, but that's what it is.
Here's the thing is that once you put that out there, it's called fair use. It's not like unless you are some kind of person where your company where you have like if you like one thing with if any of the sports like you got the FIFA Cup right now. And this guy who I just watched, his name is Chisel Dollars. His IG got taken down, and it's funny because the issue was because of FIFA was talking about. But it's funny. There's other platforms that show the FIFA stuff, but because he's talking about the controversy and stuff like that. I like his stuff. It's really funny. I've been following. I didn't pay attention to the FIFA thing until he posts something, and I watch it. And he's talking about the goals and stuff like that. And I watch a little bit of it. I don't care about soccer. I'm not a big soccer fan. I don't have the love for it. But it's kind of funny how people say, okay, you don't want to show your image. I had a lady a while back when I did one of my videos. She didn't like the fact I used a picture in that video, but it's a picture that you don't own. It's a picture from NPC News Online or somebody took. So you don't own that. Once it's out there, it's fair play use. We can use that content. Once you put that stuff out there, we can use. Unless you put a copyright restriction on it, you don't have the right. Now you can say you can take it down, but if you can go to YouTube, sometimes you can also get I think arbitrary disputation about it over it. And usually YouTube will sometimes side with you because the fact is it's fair use, especially if you get it from somebody else and they're not going to complain about it. So you got no right to complain about it. If it's something like if you had a competition, it's a competition video, and we put you on, you say, no, you say you can't say nothing about it because the fact is this was a competition you were at. If it's something from another photographer or another content maker and they post it and they don't say nothing about it, then you won't have the right to say, because sometimes most of those photographers and video guys own that stuff. Unless they don't say nothing about it to us, there's no point in them saying something to you. We can credit them, but if they own that stuff, that's their property. That competitor has nothing to say. But but I posted stuff for like stuff mixing videos like that, and I never had anybody come after me. But again, maybe they didn't pay attention to it, or decided that maybe I'm, maybe somebody didn't want to mess with. I don't know. Shout out to my man David. He's just sticking in here. He says he dropped another name in the comment as possibly, maybe, Olympia contender. He says, I like Sylvia Martinez. She could win Miss Olympia Gorgeous. Her opponent is hot as AF. I don't know, David. I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. Now, she has a great physique, but the thing is,
I like that. She's pretty.
but she's a bit on the massive side. This is from her. She just got her first Olympic qualification at the Portugal Pro. I'm sorry, the Portugal Pro, which was just past weekend. Actually, weekend before. Again, she's a bit on the massive side. If you look at her, I think she could probably do better with WPD. Just put a little more size. She does have a great look to her. Here she is along with Julia. I mean, this is from Hardcore Female Bodybuilding Media, which is a side by side between her and Julia. I don't see it. I'll be honest with you. I don't really see it. She's a little bit more thicker compared to some of the girls. I feel like she can probably go closer to women's bodybuilding. Like if you look at Julia looks more like, especially look from the back. You look at the legs, the conditioning. She's way more bigger in the quads than most of physique competitors should be.
I don't really got no comment on it. Yeah.
But again, she has a beautiful physique, nice body. How can she place? Well, she could place in the top 10, because depending on how all the other ladies come, it's all about what position she's going to bring. But to me, I think she can do well in women's bodybuilding. She's a lot more denser, especially in the quads and the legs. She doesn't have the smaller taper waist. Her upper body is just about as even as a lower body. That's the thing is with Zeke, they want the girls to be leaner in the legs and the quads, and also good with the size and the shoulders. Yeah. So again, she's from Spain. She understands English a bit. She speaks a little bit of it, but again, I think they want a more bilingual and more, I would say, more accessible athlete. But like I said, she has a great physique, But again, I feel like she could probably do women's bodybuilding. Maybe give another couple of years and maybe put on more size,
Yeah. She almost reminds me a little bit of Michelle Moon. I seen this weekend.
Oh, this weekend. Oh, you went to Velvet Row?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it like? I mean, Wednesday, if I ever get some money and get to go to New York, I might want to check it out.
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. I met her. It was a bit strange. I ain't gonna lie, but we talked eventually in there. So, but it was strange.
I remember you met her at a show because one of the clients was competing at an OCB show.
Yeah,
you sent me that picture. I took Kid's hands on my girl. I interviewed her. She's my girl. You're my girl.
I did more than that. So,
hey, I mean, you, David. I mean, I gotta get your girl. I gotta rip up on your girls. I gotta rip up on your girls. So I get my payback, get my lick back.
Good. You gotta do whatever you want. Look, man. It wasn't that deep, but yeah, we got acquainted a bit. So I'm leaving it that.
It's a bullshit, nigga. I see. Okay, a shout to a man, Brown Baldy. He says this. That's how you lose fans by giving a strike to some trying to support you. Sorry that happened, K. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother.
It is what it is.
Also, yeah, South American Ball Body says Sharonka definitely should place higher in WPD. I agree. Shout out to my man Davey. He says I agree on Sharonica, amazing woman. Here we get here man Brown Body says Texas, USA has a great bodybuilding community. Yeah, all right. Also, we got here from my man Brown Baldy. He says fair use that part. Yes, because once it's out there, it becomes fair use material because especially social media. Unless you are some kind of name brand or company where you like. One time I had got a strike because one time I took a video and it looked like it was just something off of somebody's IG, but didn't know that it was from a company that was representing that athlete, and I got a strike for that because I thought it was just her. Just it was just a workout video. She was out. She was like out in something in out like outside. She was doing pull-ups. She wasn't really a bodybuilder. She was just chick who was really, her name is Kristen Graham. She competed in CrossFit. She's very active on social media. She got huge giant jungers, and it was just her just doing a pull-up. But then she's sponsored by a company, and they use that in their. But I didn't know that because I see most times they put like a brand, something like that, or put the company's name or something like that. Shout out to my man here. He says, it's the same with the images you find online. It's fair use, fair game. Thank you. Also, shout out to my man, Black Panther. He says, copyright infringement is very serious. Plagiarism is also very serious. Also, try my best to create original content. The thing is, it's not like it's not original. It's no different when news pulls something like some on social media. Social media is just what it is. Shout out to my man, David. He says, dang it, Sylvia is awesome, cutie patootie, and has her posing is sexy. All right, yes. We got here. Shout out to my man, David says, Michelle Moon is hot stuff. Yeah, And we get here from Jamie Lynn, and she says, she says this, Jamie. She says, Betty Pariso. You're a little late now. We, Betty Pariso was back in the day. We're focused on the women here now. And my man here says, my man Black Panther says, George, you are the greatest. Stay strong and God bless. Okay, so I think he's stepping out. Appreciate you, brother, coming through. Now, another lady who she's been doing pretty good for herself. I got to actually. Can you believe it? It's about a year ago when I met her when I was at Tampa, and I ran into her because she was there because one of her clients was Keisha Oliver, and she was there competing Keisha that year because she won the Masters, women's bodybuilding qualification, and I was wearing my Superman shirt. I got a black Superman shirt, and she's the real Lois Lane, and it's me, real Lois Lane. That's Rachel Daniels. I got to just say hello to her, and we got a little pinky touch. Could be a contender for the title? I think so. I mean, she has a great look, a great body. Last year she took a step back because of stuff that was going on with her life. She took a couple years off, and then she came back and competed. It was she did Pittsburgh, where she took second to Natalia. Then she won at Ultima. And there was a lot of talk about how she's going to place. But then, for whatever personal reason, she had a little mental hiccup. So she decided to take a step back from competing. Rachel went through some lot of stuff a couple years before. She got divorced. She was attacked by a dog. She was moving between Texas and Florida. She does posing, and she does a lot of very artistic posing. I'm a fan of Rachel Daniels, the real Lois Lane. I think she has a beautiful physique. Again, could she be a contender for women's league title? It's just about how she's going to bring. I remember her pro debut. Actually, her women's bodybuilding debut wasn't her best. I think she was 11th or 12th, And then she came back the next year. I think she climbed up a little bit higher, and then she took a break off, because the stuff she went through between the divorce and the dog attack. And then she comes back. She does Pittsburgh, takes second to Natalia, and then she gets a qualification at Optima. She has a great look. Question is, I think that she says she's a few weeks out, so the most possibly she's going to be doing Tampa because that's where she lives. She lives in Florida, and that'd be sure she might like to do. You got here a comment here. I'm gonna take these comments here. Uh, we got here. Shout out to man. Black Baldy says, there's a female athlete who are cool. Will respond back. Their fans. There's not as much. Oh, we have here the lovely Miss Christine Sutton. He's here. Says, good topic today. I hope to someday be on that list. Hey, Christine. If you're interested, Christine, I'll send you a link if you want to join us and give your thoughts. Give me a moment. I'd like to get your thoughts, being a competitor yourself, and also hear your plans. So, Christine, if you're still, this is great. Christine, if you're still on, if you're still available, come join us. Let me know. I'll send it to your IG. Let me see. I think. Let me see. I think she's here. I'll send you the link, Christine, if you're still on. You see. Give me a second. There you go. Christine, if you're free, I would love for you to join us. Because, like I said, I love to get feedback from you ladies. Christine turned pro at the Masters USA's last year. And I, want to get her feedback on this. And also, what's her plans? Is she going to compete? I just sent her the link. Give her a few minutes. And we might have here, we might have here a lady on here. Shout out to my man. He says, heck yeah, Christine Sutton. Yeah, hey, we hope we might get Christine. I just sent you the link. And shout out to my man Davey says, what do you think about Sheena Olick returning to WPD? I think she's too small now for women's bodybuilding, but perfect for WPD. She's one of my top 5 favorites. Well, she did an interview with my man David Glenn over his Amazon Fitness Magazine podcast. She doesn't want to go back. She feels there's no point for her to go back to women's physique. Again, maybe. Because, if you look at Sheena, I'm going to pull her up in a bit. Sheena has I'm a fan of Sheena. I've interviewed Sheena. I met Sheena Olick. And could she? I don't know. It's debatable, especially how the criteria is changing. We have women right now who look like they should be doing, they should be doing women's bodybuilding, but they rather do stick in WPD. But could Sheena come up? Here goes this from Kristen. She says this. Says, hi, for sure. Okay, just click the link. You know how to do it. Once you get the link, you just follow the instructions. If you want to come in. But could Sheena go back? I don't know. I look at her, and if you compare it to some of the women now, she has a great look to her. Very feminine, great lines. I get to meet Sheena, but again, you can really see how she's much more larger, especially in the quads. She doesn't have the taper waist you want to see in WPD. She's kind of like, I remember I said to Nancy Lewis, because she'd done women's physique when it first came out, when she was still competing. She said she was on the cusp, but because Sheena do it. Here she is. As you know, a while back she did an interview with Glenn, and I think she mentioned this. It's not, so let's see.
Previously on the Amazons podcast.
Now you have girls who aren't willing to take that risk hormonally, physically, psychologically, and they'll do the wellness. You know, Christina, she dropped down from women's bodybuilding, not to physique, but she dropped down to wellness.
Exactly. And it's gonna be interesting to see how she pans out. I don't think she's done a show yet, right?
No, she hasn't done a show yet.
No.
She hasn't done
And
a show
then
yet.
when you look at Shanique Grant, dropped down to wellness from women's physique after winning on Miss Olympia. I don't know.
Ronald Pro was amplifying and highlighting all of the divisions. It wasn't just like, oh, open men's bodybuilding and classic physique and bikini. And then everybody else is just, you know, chopped liver. It's like, you know, every now and then on their social media, they're amplifying, they're highlighting the women who's going to be competing. I think that's all we're really asking for is, you know, a little bit more attention and promotion from promoters, you know, to really, really invest in the product.
Previously on the
Yeah, she's. I think, like I said, again, I'm a fan of Sheena Oleg.
I was about to say I've been on her TikTok lives and stuff. She give like health talk. She educate people that she educate the public on bodybuilding. It's pretty. Her lives was cool. You know, she work out and you know people ask questions and stuff like that. I haven't seen her do any lives lately, but yeah, a couple of times did that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the question is, could she go back down? And I don't know. Again, she's put a lot of muscle density in between that time, you know, since she switched from WPD to women's bodybuilding. And, you know, even though you look at women now in WPD who look like saw Sarah made that move over to women's bodybuilding. That was a good move for her because, again, she kind of outgrew the division. We have here my man, Jeff. He just popped in. Shout out to Jeff.
You know what, George? You know my goal is for this year is I'm gonna try to make as many Muscle Mondays as I could. Not for next week, because I'll be in Jersey. I'll actually be in KL's neck of the woods in New Jersey next week.
Yeah, well, I think he's a little farther from Jersey than you think. And also, folks, we have a lady. We have a lady. We have here. Calm down, man. We have here the lovely Mrs. Christine Sutton. Give you a second. Try to get her in. There she is. And she's an IFE pro, turned pro last year at the Masters USA's. Congratulations, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. It's anytime I get to have a lady out here. I got all these hard legs on here. It's nice to have a little femininity every now and then.
Well, it's nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you. So Christine, what's your plans now? You are a pro. You feel like you're more tired? You're gonna figure jump on a show this year.
I'm actually going to start prep the first week in November. And we're going to be getting ready for the Puerto Rico Pro next April. I wanted to make sure I had a pretty good long off season, a healthy off season. I think that was the main point of taking a while, not rushing into anything and making sure I had enough size for the Puerto Rico Pro.
And she's over 40, so that means she can do, because Puerto Rico Pro for women's physique is doing over 40, 50, and I think that's it. I
will actually be turning 50 this September, so I'll be going into the 50+ division in women's physique.
Wait,
what?
Wait, I just let me ask you a question. When is your birthday? Because I'm also a September born also. My birthday is the 11th.
Yeah, September 8th, so we're really close.
Hey, George, we're really close.
What? You say you're going to be 50?
I will be 50 in September, yeah.
I'll be 37.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I was certain you were at least in I know you got your boy, your son. I was certain you were at least maybe close to 40 than you were to 50.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
No, man, I'm not going to lie to him about her.
Yeah, this will be a new division for me. I've been competing at the 40 level for a few years now, so 50 will be new. Pretty excited about it. Just excited to get out there, try, to qualify for the Masters Olympia.
Which you have to do the 40+ too, because that's the only way you get the Masters qualification for the Olympia. They hadn't said when they're going to have the. I hope they have it here in the States.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, because I know the last year with that promoter, he didn't pay everybody their money, and then he got banned. He can't promote any shows, especially with the Olympia brand.
Mhm.
And but going back to subject for you, Christine, who do you think, honestly, if Sarah or Natalia step away from the show, who you think would be a good possible Miss Olympia?
Well, I'm always hoping for my coach to get there, Brooke Walker. She's always my first pick because she's such a baddie, right? And I'm hoping that, you know, this is going to be her year. I'm really praying for that because she's got that look and she's so beautiful. And I love that she's still feminine and she's rocking. So hoping for her for sure. But there's definitely some new faces coming in women's physique this year. Um, and they're big and they're beautiful and it could be a hell of a show this year for sure.
And she mentioned Brooke. Brooke just started following me on my other IG account. Miss, I think it's Latham. That's her now, Mrs. Latham now,
Yes,
and
Latham.
she is amazing. I think I wanted her to win back in 2022 when she competed. I think she has a great look to her, very feminine, great muscle. I mean, uh, she has that nice next door girl look to her. The short blonde hair. I mean, she has amazing body. We know last year she did get qualification for the Olympia, but then she took a step back because of some mental issues or whatever issues she was going through. I don't know the details of it. I think she has a great look to her. Also, she has changed her overall look of her physique. If guys you have noticed, she has added a few accoutrements. I mean, me. Depending on how you do them, if you get a blue job, if you do it right, it looks really good. It looks very, very kind of natural. But sometimes some women can overdo it. I mean, like
She did a good job on those this when she got them done. She looks beautiful.
Hey, George, come here.
yeah,
It just me. It's me. You know, she kind of remind me of me, like, because she kind of remind me of. I'm not sure this actually makes sense or not. Like, kind of like a young Marilyn Monroe going to be in show business.
Yes, definitely.
yeah.
She's got that look. I'm rooting for Brooke, and I hope that she gets there because she really deserves it.
Hey, Brooke. Hey,
I
Brooke.
know
If you, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If she's also, I know she did a little meeting interview with my man David from Female Body Forum, and she's planning on doing Chicago. So this is her peak week, and
This is peak week.
I hope she does well. Yeah.
Yes. So always
Yeah.
rooting for Brooke, and I hope she does fantastically. But all the ladies, I'm wishing everybody luck at the Chicago Pro this weekend. I think it's going to be a heck of a show.
Well, I'm going to check some real quick because the list is. I know if it's not out yet. Let me check.
I'm gonna get going. Just come here. I'm gonna get going. Hey, Chris, nice to meet you. Hey, Kay,
Nice
good
to
luck with the
meet you.
interviews. Hey, Book, if you're single, call me. I would like to interview your book live on this show.
No,
Like, George is
your bro. She has a husband.
I've been here, fool.
You're
I've
done.
been here, fool. Baby, me
You're
and
done.
Kay.
You're done, son. You're done, son. You're done, son. You're done, son. Forget about it. She got a man.
Man.
Maybe me and KL may interview Chris and Book talking about Velvet War. George.
Yeah. Let's see you later, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to my man David. It says Sheena is a hot chocolate. Yeah. And also my man says Sheena Washington facts. Yeah. Both Sheena Olick and Sheena Washington. Both of them are lovely ladies. So as you know, from your standpoint, and this most definitely I really put your feedback from a lady in sport. What do you feel like would be the standard of women's physique, especially going for a title like that, like the Olympia?
Well, Sandy's the head judge, and Sandy's got a look she's going for. And it's a whole package that they want. The suit, the hair, femininity, believe it or not, I think is making a big comeback in women's physique. So that's got to be part of the package too. symmetrical look. You want the top to match the bottom. You need to have your conditioning down. That's, I think, like for me, I know that a lot of me not being able to turn pro sooner was because my top was so big and my bottom was not as big. So being symmetrical is a huge part of this. And they want the whole package when you come on stage, right? They want an actress when you're up there. They want, the beauty queen. And I think that's a big part of it, believe it or not, is they want, a showgirl. They want a pageant princess with muscles. And I think that's a huge part of it. I'm glad we're coming back to that. I think that's
What does
awesome.
that mean? If I can ask that, like,
Yeah.
certain routines.
Yeah, they when you come on stage, they want you to prance, right? They want you to flirt. They want you to, really be out there giving it your best. Have your routines down. They want a small waist, big shoulders, beautiful hair. It's a whole package that they're looking for, right? So it's not just the muscles. It's the presentation's a huge part of women's physique, and that's got to be something that people should know. That the whole thing's a package, and we're trying to woo you. We're trying to romance you.
Well, you gotta be careful with some of us. As you know, we are a particular type of criminals, Christine. I mean, we just love y'all, ladies. Y'all excite us. Y'all make us feel. But yeah, I understand that because you want that overall look. You want a nice feminine aesthetic. But again, there's some women who are kind of bit moving away. Like this lady who I actually got to meet when I was in Tampa is Megan Morrison, better known as Dr. Scooby, or Dr. Meg.
Yes.
I think she has a great look to her, but again, I don't know. I don't think she's really much a criteria. Maybe, like your thoughts on her. Like you feel like she's,
I will tell you,
maybe
I mean,
more.
wow, what a body, right? And she's just beautiful. When I first saw her initially, I thought that she was women's bodybuilding, because she kind of has that look. But what a pretty lady. Just the body's incredible. So, I mean, best of luck to her too. There was definitely some very big girls this year. I know that the Shreveport show, Sarah won that show. I believe that's her name, and what a physique on her too. She was a big girl.
Yeah.
I watched her compete, and I said, "How the hell am I going to do this?" 'Cause she's so big.
Yeah, it can be scary because you know what? Like was I think it's the picture of Megan from last year, and this is a most recent picture, I believe. I think it's like she's just up 12 pounds. She's going to be competing at. She's 7 weeks. This is from picture where it says 7 weeks out from Tampa, and also 8.5 weeks from doing the Atlanta show. In one picture she was 194, and one other picture was just 206. And
That's some dedication, because I mean it's taken me forever to put on weight this season.
yeah, and I think it goes back to age and youth, because
Yeah,
I think if you look at
definitely.
someone like Paula, who's like 26,
Yeah,
and and she's still growing and developing. You look at Sarah, who's not even 30 yet,
yeah.
and you hit some women who have that muscle maturity. That it took them a long time to develop. You look at Andrea. Andrea, she's in her mid 40s, and and she looks really good. You look
It's a
at
different look for us, and it's a lot different. The training is a lot different. The diet's a lot different to when you get to this age. We can't train like the youngins.
no,
It cannot happen.
yeah, I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I've been losing a little bit of
Yeah,
weight, but I got to take more time to recover because my body doesn't, can't pop back up like I was if I was in my 20s and my 30s.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Shout
yeah.
out to
Well,
my
thanks
man.
for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. Shout out to our man. Jeffy says, I'm happy to join you guys. Also, he says this. He says, before I let you go, he says, wait, it popped up again. So my computer's always acting funny.
Oh,
He says,
sweet.
hey, Chris, wish you the best in life.
Oh,
And
thank you.
also, he
I will
says this.
keep
He
you guys
says,
updated
yeah.
on my prep and me going into the show and all that. And that's going to be an exciting time for me. I'm really excited about competing at the pro level.
Well, that's good. Also, my man Chris says Chris is correct about romance for me, George. And also, he says this. He says, July and August, I'm not in vacation. I will be joining. Okay, appreciate that. But so we're gonna appreciate the lovely Mrs. Christine Southern for coming through IFBB Pro. Wish her best of luck. She is planning to do the Tampa Bay Pro. Not sorry,
Puerto Rico
Puerto
Pro.
Rico Pro next year. Maybe you might even do Tampa. You know, you feel
I
like
might.
how
We'll
the.
see where we go.
All right. Well, thank you. Say hello to your husband and hug the baby, and thank you for your time.
We'll do
Appreciate it.
it. Thanks, guys.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
You
Nice to
have a
meet
better
you.
one, dear. Yeah. So, yes, other folks, I appreciate we ladies come through here and give their feedback and give their thoughts because it really helps us as content makers. And and that's why this is why I do this because you know what, I appreciate the friendships I've gone with these ladies. She was watching this. She was in the comment section. She commented. I actually want to join in. Ladies, that's why I want you to come on because as fans, as people who follow this sport and content makers, we want to get your feedback. We want to know what you think. We want to get your opinion, your feeling of it because that's important because a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be a competitor in this sport. From the training, the dieting, the consistency, that's all involved as a bodybuilder. And we want to learn. Now, that's what we want to do. We want to hear from you. So folks, this is something I'm thinking about another competitor who could possibly, if she can really,
Okay.
bring in the overall look, shape, and
It was
condition.
good. They were
You
asking
know,
me about predictions for the Olympia this year. And they were like, we wanted to get a view on it. And I was like, well, I'm always rooting for Brooke because she's doing peak week
hey,
this year.
hey, Christine,
This should be her year.
Chris, you're still
Finally.
on. Chris, you're
Maybe
still
you gotta
on.
kick that out.
And they were like, what are they looking for?
Yeah, I
I was
gotta
like,
kick her out.
Sandy wants a girl's world.
Yeah, I gotta kick her out because I think she's on the phone. Let me kick her out because I think she's on the phone. So she must be talking to somebody. So I kick her out. But yeah, I would say this is a good topic because to get the feedback for someone like her who competes, and that's a good point that she pointed out that you have to bring a certain level, especially in that division, WPD. I think it's a little bit, I think one lady talked about how she says that how women bodybuilding gets sexualized. The thing is, here's the thing is, maybe not by other bodybuilders, but yes, by the outside viewers, the people who just see, a bunch of people dressed in speedos and bathing suits. Yes, everyday person is going to sexualize it, but most bodybuilders don't look at it. We look at ass. Y'all see glutes. We look at tits. We see pecs. You see pecs. We think of the common denominator of what we see, but you think of the more aesthetic denomination of what they see. It's just always subjective. But as you know, we got the Chicago Pro coming up. One lady I think I want to give a shout out, and could she ever make the Olympia? I don't know. I'm a fan of hers, and she did pretty good in her last show, and she's been a guest on my channel, and I call her a friend. That's Jada Beverly. Jada, she's going to do Chicago, and she was 6'6" at Portugal. Could Jada be an Olympian? Could she or even get a shot at the title? So we'll put Jada here. So like I said, I'm a fan of Jada. I think I really appreciate when she comes through and doing content and comment on stuff. So what about Jada?
I don't know. I mean, she's very pretty. She got some muscles, but I don't know what the future lies for her. She's gonna be women's physique.
Yeah, she just did the Portugal Pro Women's because she was doing wellness a
Yeah,
couple
that's
years
right.
ago.
I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't really have too much thoughts.
Yeah.
That's
Well, like I
all.
said, I got to shout her out.
That's a
Yeah,
big
because
arm. All right. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, she has a great. Yeah, she's a great. She got a great physique. I mean, she's supposed to. Back. One thing she needed to do is like she needed that first show to get out of the way. That was Portugal. It was a very close call because she had to try to get her visa updated. She was able to make it, and she got sixth place. It was even though there was 9 competitors that show, sixth place is pretty good.
What
Especially
was her
you got.
what's her problem? Excuse me cutting you off. What
Mhm.
was her problem like during the time she competed? Because I know she said a lot of things, retired and all that type of stuff.
Well, we say retired. She said she took step away from it because she was doing a lot of. She had some medical issues. That was right after she competed in women's bodyweight back in 2022 when she did the Indiana. She did the Indiana Pro, and then
Yeah.
she wasn't in her best shape. Then that's when she said she wanted to take a step back. Then she came back, then physique in 2023, and when she got third. No, actually, she got second at the Daytona Pro, and then she decided to go to wellness. And to me, I think she's a tall girl. She's at least around about 5'7", 5'8", and I don't think is not a division for taller women because your legs are much longer. Her glutes look a little decent, and she did a couple of shows in wellness. She did one here in the U.S. She did one in the U.K. She did a show in Spain. I think the feedback from the judges was that it just didn't work for her. I mean, she still carries some of those aesthetics from being in physique and women's bodybuilding as long as she has. But
Mm.
and she just sometimes I think with Jada, when I talk with her, sometimes she has to learn to get out of her own way. And I was surprised she's doing Chicago Pro because it's a Tim Gardner show, and she often said to me that Tim Gardner is not one of her favorite people. But my guess, she realizes that it's the numbers are really low for shows, other than maybe there's Texas Pro, which is and also there's the Arizona Pro, which is part of the Rising Phoenix, and there's also maybe she want to get qualification next year. There's the Steve Carr show. We got here my man. Shout out to my man. Jeff says also the age limit does matter for IFBB. Female bodybuilding. Yeah, because I think with the young, if you're much younger, if you like in your, I would say early 20s to your mid 30s, yeah, that's a good thing. But there's some ladies who are cracking 40 and 50 who are maintaining, doing pretty well. Shout out to my man, Jeff. He says, "Can you put Christine's social media account on the channel?" I might do that. All you got, give me a second. I'll do that. We got here a comment from my man David. He said, "This is worth a look," and he sent me a link. I'm going to check into the YouTube and get the link because sometimes I can't copy as well from here. So, but I think again what Christine said, it's about the look of what they want to bring to that division. It's supposed to be very more feminine, streamlined, and you have to go out there. And I think that's with some women, they may not have that, aesthetic to flirt and to be very feminine. Like I think Sarah Brad is a good example of that. She's very tomboyish, and sometimes those girls, some girls who are a bit tomboyish, they usually grow up to be very pretty and very attractive women. Others is not so much, and I think that's the reason why I think that's a good reason for Sarah to move over from, uh, you know, from where's the WPD? David, I don't see anything. If it's a live, David, I can't see it on my computer. So yeah, I think that's what it is. It's some kind of live, and I can't see it on my computer. I could probably see it on my phone if I can. Wait a minute. Let me do something real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. I gotta go. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Appreciate you for coming through. So my
All
man
right.
Kid is an interview with a lovely lady. You want to check out the interview? Go over to his channel, and also he has coming up. You got another interview coming up? KO's already gone. So appreciate it to you. So yeah. Alex is coming in and out. Let me see. But let me go check real quick.
Can you hear me okay?
Huh? I'm very fine.
Oh, you can hear
Let me check some real quick. Well, let's see. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I can hear you. Huh? Very fine. Let me check some real quick. Wait a minute. Well, let's see. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I can hear you. Huh? Let me send me something. Oh, I can't get to it. Wherever you sent me, David, I don't know what it is. You can tell me. You can tell me to me later, David, what it was, because I can't see it. And you tell me how to go in. I don't know how. But anyway, again, I appreciate my guests that were here. Shout out my man David in the comment section. My man Jeff, who came through. Shout out to Brown Baldy. Shout out to Black Panther. Shout out to Christine Sutton came through IFB Pro. Shout out to all you who comment and subscribe and check my channel. Shout out to my man, Alex here, and shout out to my man KL who just went through. Appreciate it. Go check out his channel. Again, there's some amazing ladies who could probably take the title, but right now, as long as Sarah and Natalia sitting on the top, I think it's going to be hard for anybody to take that title, unless either one might either decide to, if you never know, injury, sick or something like that, or decide to say, let me go ahead and retire. I did what I can do, and now I'm going to retire. I think for that now, it's going to be a battle between Sarah and Natalia for the title. Maybe eventually, if one of them step away from the sports, I might become the next Mr. Olympia Physique champion. But for now, those are the two. But there's some impressive ladies. Again, Sama Benta, Sharonica Hinton, Paula Ranta, Brooke Walker, Rachel Daniels, maybe even, Dr. Megan Morrison, maybe Megan Morrison, or any other ladies who can step up. But again, I feel like for now it's going to be between Brooke, it's between Natalia and Sarah for now. So, brother, you have anything to say before we let you go?
No, I think Christine said it loud and clear. I think it was good to get someone in for the natural insight of what they're looking for, and it's going to be tough future whoever's going to take the title. But I'm glad they're hearing something different for once. What's happening for qualifications and for women's physique? At least just hoping for the best. And there I am right now. Guess I'm having some issues.
That's all right, sir. Uh-huh. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your thoughts. Shout out to my man Black Panther. He has given one more, and we let him go. He says, "Women's bodybuilding and women's physique are the greatest divisions for women worldwide." Yeah, I appreciate that. So, folks, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'm going to do this next Monday. I'm going to have my 300 muscle talk, and not just only my 300 muscle talk. I've been looking at my counter on my on my YouTube channel. I am going to eventually hit 6,000 subs, and it's just been no more than maybe about 3 months ago when I hit 5,000 subs. So, also on that day, I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to make some announcements. When the clock hits, when I hit officially 6,000 subs, it's going to be a special Muscle Talk Monday for 300 episodes and also 6,000 subs. And I will make an announcement of where I'm going to. I've already said one show I'm planning on going to, but this one, it's something that I think I know I've been needing to do it because, like I said again, I've been saying I want to go someplace else. I've been, shows down here in the South. I want to go up north, and I'll let you know what that show is going to be. So, folks, I thank my man Alex. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer. Shout out to David coming through. Shout out to Christine for coming through. And shout out to Jeff and all the others who support my channel, my content. Black Panther, Bob. Also, Dr. Natalia Cuejo came through for a minute. I appreciate you. I mean, again, as I said again, I'm not a big fan of you, but I appreciate what you do for your sport and your division. So, shout out to her. So, folks, email our WeChat page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good night, good luck, God bless, and I'll see you next time.
God, this is not fair.